Hi everyone and welcome to the December edition of Wavelength. The mission of the Lower Colorado River Authority is to provide reliable, low-cost utility and public services in partnership with our customers and communities, and to use our leadership role and environmental authority to ensure the protection and constructive use of the area's natural resources. The mission of the LCRA is basically the same today as it was in 1934 when Governor Ma Ferguson signed legislation which created the River Authority. So no matter how the company is structured internally or how the accounting is done, we are all employees of the LCRA, one company with the same goals and beliefs.
5, 6,
7.
Here at the Riverside Conference Center in Bastrop, these employees are participating in a new program called the One Co Challenge. The idea is to build on the teamwork and communication skills learned in GRID while reinforcing the history, beliefs, and goals we learned in LCRA 101.
What we're hoping to have happen is to have maybe 4 or 5 people from one crew or one office attend with 4 or 5 people from another crew, another office. It could be maybe you've got environmental folks, the folks that do environmental assessments, attending with some of the line crews that are out constructing the lines, attending with some of the office folks that are taking care of the accounting, attending with some of the stores. So you're with people that you normally work with, and you have an opportunity to build some relationships across departments and across lines of business.
Here's your task and your resources. Good luck.
These outdoor exercises help build personal responsibility and trust within each team, and cooperation with other teams at the same time. Plans are for all LCRA employees to take the One Co Challenge within the next 2 or 3 years.
It's been a fun day. We were outside all day, participating in activities, while at the same time we were learning through group exercises. We were participating, and we had to help each other out and learn teamwork. And it's a lot different than sitting in the classroom all day, so it's a new thing that we're doing, and I think employees are really going to like it because it has been fun.
November was a banner month for economic development in the LCRA service area. Stern Plastics, a German company, announced that in 1998 they'd be expanding their operations in New Braunfels, and then there was a ribbon-cutting ceremony in Williamson County, and this groundbreaking ceremony in Gonzales County. It's official, this vacant field will soon be home to a major expansion of Cal-Maine Foods in Welder, Texas. Cal-Maine produces eggs, lots of eggs. Their current facility here has 62 employees and produces some 800,000 eggs per day.
Our egg numbers will be producing, instead of 21 million dozen a year, we'll produce about 42 to 43 million dozen eggs a year out of the 2 facilities combined.
The new Cal-Maine facility will also double their current electrical demand, which is serviced by the Guadalupe Valley Electric Co-op, a wholesale customer of the LCRA.
We've worked hard with Cal-Maine and economic development in the industrial development park in Gonzales to get the industry here, because we've had a good workforce available, and a lot of the people are recognizing that, and they're moving into our county.
The new facility is scheduled to be online in late 1999. Now on to Georgetown, Texas, where Chatsworth Products Incorporated is now officially open for business. This brand new facility will be home to 150 employees and will bring diversity and new tax base to Williamson County. Chatsworth produces rack systems, cabinets, and runways for managing cable and computer systems, phones, and networks. To mark the occasion, Chatsworth held a Texas-style barbecue for employees, friends, and government officials.
This is just a wonderful event. It's a dream come true for not just myself, but all the employee owners of CPI. We're just delighted to be here in Georgetown, and we're delighted that the community is pleased with our presence as well.
What you've said is a prime example of what it's all about with the state, with the regional government, with city government, county government, and especially LCRA working together and trying to help bring, as a team, industries like this into our area.
If you would like information about business opportunities in Central Texas, Contact the LCRA Economic Development Department at 1-800-776-5272, extension 3399.
Back in February, Governor George W. Bush appointed 6 new members to the LCRA Board of Directors. Now that they've had some time to settle in a bit, we'd like to introduce them to you on an individual basis. So this month we traveled to San Saba County to meet Patsy Kirk. Patsy Kirk and her husband Tony are self-employed ranchers. They have a cow-calf operation and they raise goats here on these rolling hills just outside of San Saba. But that's just the beginning of their menagerie, which includes pet hogs, dogs, and lots of horses.
And I'm grounded now. I don't get to ride a horse for a little while because I broke my arm a couple of months ago. It's fine now, but I'm going to stay on the ground for a while.
Patsy Kirk is full of energy. One of her favorite things to do is jump in her old pickup and drive out in the pastures to round up and feed the animals. She says her role as a rancher has prepared her well for the new challenge she faces at the LCRA.
You know, I'm a caretaker of my family and my friends and all these animals and the land and the trees and the forest, and I think, you know, this is really another extension of my caretaking because now I can take care of the river. So it's kind of a natural transition for me, and I like it. I am very, very impressed with all the things that LCRA does.
Patsy loves to sew, play bridge, and read. She's a volunteer election judge and is active in her community schools. When husband Tony wants to relax, he spends time in his shop doing woodwork.
This is a great opportunity for her to get out and contribute something to the state, and it's good for her ego and everything else. I think she's excited about the job, and I think she'll do a heck of a good job. She really works hard at it and spends a lot of time doing her homework, as she says, and I'm very proud of her.
Patsy says the transition for her as a new board member has been made easy by LCRA staff and fellow board members.
The leadership, I think, is terrific in all departments, and Mark's been more than fair with us, and I think he's doing an outstanding job. So I'm happy, and I haven't had any surprises.
She sees a definite link between the past, the rich history of the LCRA, and its future.
For the future, I hope we continue along this road and that we can take care of the river, we can take care of our customers, and that we can take continuing good care of our employees, which are our very important asset.
Patsy Kirk's term on the board will expire in February 2003.
This year's Green Building Conference attracted 2,600 people from all over the world. The conference, which is co-sponsored by the LCRA, features everything from environmentally sensitive architectural designs and alternative building materials to energy systems and landscaping. LCRA's exhibit showcased the wind power project in the Davis Mountains and the fly ash recycling project at FPP.
All LCRA lines of business are fundamentally involved in the Green Building Conference. We have representation from GenCo to WaterCo to TINSCO to the Community Services Group on down the line. What it shows is that all groups fundamentally do great things to promote environmental stewardship.
Bluebonnet Electric Co-op also participated by showing off their Good Sense program. This is the first year that Bluebonnet participated in the conference.
We go out to the homeowner one-on-one. We're trying to show them how to build a house that will be economical each month. LCRA produces electricity at a reasonable price. We try to pass it on to the customer at a low cost, and we're trying to show them ways that they could lower their electric cost each month.
Each year, the Green Building Conference offers homeowners and builders new ideas and products to help them build smarter and more efficient buildings. Conservation, innovation, and recycling are the cornerstones of the Green Builder concept.
In November, the LCRA held its first ever official Veterans Day ceremony at the General Office Complex. This salute to LCRA veterans past and present featured a special appearance by the Prairie View A&M ROTC.
That having a strong armed services, asking people to make that contribution has been and always will be the absolute fabric of the character of this country. And each one of you have been a piece of that quilt. Each one of you have helped make the American character as many, many people before you have done. God bless and thank you.
Next year is my 29th and 30th anniversary of being in Vietnam, and I guess as I get older, life seems more precious and these things matter more. I haven't thought much about Vietnam or being in the Army through the years. I think about it occasionally, but 30 years is a milestone, and it's got me thinking more about it and willing to just come and remember on a day like today. I think what Mark and LCRA did is real nice today. I'm honored by it.
One, two, three.
With that, Board Chair Mike Luxinger and Board Member George Kaysen officially opened the new LCRA Environmental Laboratory. The state-of-the-art facility was completed in late August, and move-in started in September. This day is even more special for staff members who arrived at work back in August of '96 to find the old lab a charred wreck.
After the lab burned down, guys moved out to trailers and considered that a step up in the world. So that you can see right now that everyone here genuinely appreciates this facility.
LCRA staff and board members were invited to an open house at the new lab, which included refreshments and tours of the facility.
We do the anions portion of salts in this section here.
Internal clients such as Genco and Waterco make up about 1/4 of the lab's revenue, with the other 3/4 coming from external clients like TNRCC, the City of Austin, and the Texas Water Development Board.
We test soils, so what type of contaminants are in soils. We test, one of the more exciting things, although not a high volume for us, is tissues. So you might go fishing someplace, and the state brings a lot of that work to us. And we actually take the fish and try to extract what contaminants might be in there, either whether it's PCBs or some type of metals or chloridane. You recall that we did some of that work on Town Lake before. We also test wastewater to see that it's meeting discharge standards. We test drinking water to make sure that it's meeting all the drinking water standards.
The new facility is located at the Dalshaw Service Center on Montopolis Drive. Construction came in on time and under budget at $4.3 million.
The improvements from here compared to the old laboratory is we have double the size. We're close to 22,000 square feet, and we have our own water system. It's a reverse osmosis system and a very sophisticated air system to accommodate the flow of air through the facility in our large hood room and some of our positive pressure rooms. And we have a lot more space than we had before. So everyone has a little elbow room, and we also have some room to expand our services.
Well, how you folks doing? I'm here at the Smithville Railcar facility today. You know, I've been a little bit under the weather. Matter of fact, on the way to work this morning, I stopped by to see the doctor because I was having a little problem in my throat. I got in to see the doc. The doc said, "What can I do for you this morning?" I said, "Doc, it's my throat." He said, "Well, son," he said, "go in this room over here," and he said, "take off all your clothes." I said, "But Doc, it's my throat." He said, "Son, I told you to go in the room and take off all your clothes." Well, he sounded like he meant business, so I went in that room, started taking off my clothes when I noticed there was a guy already in the room wearing a blue suit. At least I thought it was a blue suit. Come to find out he was just cold. I said, can you believe that? I said, it's my throat. He wants me to take off all my clothes. He said, what you complaining about? He said, I just come in to deliver a package. Well, speaking of packages, it's about that time of year, and I hope you receive all the packages that you want this holiday season. So this is the old Supreme Commander saying for me and for all the folks here at Smithville, have a happy holiday and a prosperous and a safe new year. And we'll catch you next time.
Well, we're wrapping up 1997, I think, on a very, very successful note. As we head into the holiday season, I wish each of you a great holiday and hope it brings you lots of good wishes and time to be with your family. I continue to be amazed and impressed with the wonderful group of folks in this organization that I have the opportunity to serve with. 97 has been a good year for us. I think 1998 will be one of the most important years in the history of the LCRA. I think whatever's going to happen on electric deregulation will really begin to be seriously identified in 1998. We've got some fundamental work underway in terms of our water resources and what kind of role that we're going to play there. And we're seriously preparing for our future. So from talking to our customers about how we're going to do generation together in the future and do it differently, to what we want to be in the electric utility industry of the future, to what kind of services that we provide in the water and wastewater, economic development, community services area, all of that adds up to one more pretty aggressive year. So hats off to 1997 and hold on to your hat for 1998. Happy holidays.
Let's check in with meteorologist Mark Mathis for the first look at your forecast. He joins us now from the Feast of Sharing down at City Coliseum. Mark?
We're back at the serving line once again. Y'all are exactly right. We did start off with a little bit of drizzle and fog. State Comptroller John Sharp is here. John, you're doing a good job.
Working hard. It's very complicated.
Tell me a little bit about this whole thing out here. When did it start and how did it get involved?
It started in 1988 when Bob Bullock was controller and his employees fed about 1,100 people on the Capitol grounds. And then since then, we were fortunate enough to get sponsors like HEB, G&M Catering, and lots of other folks, including lots of other state employees, LCRA employees who come out here and they serve about 6,000 to 8,000 meals every day or so before Thanksgiving.
Mark, there's a change in the works for how you'll spend your money to use the LCRA's parks. Starting next year at several area parks, the LCRA will start charging admission on a per-person instead of per-car basis. Also, discounted multi-use pass books will replace annual passes, and parks that have been free will remain free under the new fee structure. The LCRA says the user fees cover park maintenance because the authority does not receive any tax money.
Well, that's it for this edition of Wavelength. We hope each of you have a happy and safe holiday season, and we'll see you in 1998.